I always like to say my daughter Gentry, she leads the way and we follow. And she was telling us in her own nonverbal way that she needed more from life. She needed more meaning and more purpose. And so that's really the driving part of Piece of Heart community. Not just for her, but for other people like her that are nonverbal and don't have access to the same things that you and I do. They know in public what is expected of them, and they can't make their bodies comply. And so if you're just looking at their bodies and their unintentional behavior, you'll never know the person with autism. And the biggest breakthrough that's happened in our community here is that there's a type of typing called facilitated communication that enables these persons to gain the motor control that they need to be able to release their words with an iPad. The first word she ever typed with me was hope. And as a parent and not hearing her voice for 18 years, I just like my heart dropped out. And that's all I ever needed to hear. Like I thought, gosh, that's all she ever said, one thing to me. It's all I need to hear. You know, I'm not the only mom that has these kind of thoughts and feelings, but I can't not give her more hope and more hope. And I won't stop until she has the same opportunities that every person in society has. Really neat, the fun treat of being previous discriminated or unseen person to be the free, loved person who met. And I will rejoice in the day when this clinical trials, show what we've seen, which is joy and laughter and language come. That with the typing comes verbal language. And it's really not short of miraculous.
Nice, you did it. Cool.
Them coming together every week in a social group where they are supported, they are looked at as intelligent, they are not judged for any behavior, nobody says no to them, and we've just seen testimony after testimony of just healing. She said, I've got a good gift of colors in my brain. I love how she says things.
We're actually have collectors of her art, of her fine art. We're selling things in the airport, and we have galleries, and we have a lot of different ways. And we take some of the pieces with us to the farmers market. So we're selling side by side the produce and the art, and it really is an extension also of the vocational program, because we have young people that work with us on both the art and the produce. So we've gotten some really wonderful partnerships with people in the community that just have seen the potential of what we're doing, and they want to help. And so they've made long-term, lasting relationships and lasting commitments with us to further our cause. So we've really made tremendous strides in a few short months.
Everybody saw something in her art, and they're like, wow, that's pretty deep. She did that? And then once she started typing, she goes, I feel like a person because people think I'm an artist. See that? People started looking at her differently, and it made her feel different. And guess what? Her behaviors went away when people looked at her differently. And the home will be a place where we will recognize the value of the person right off the bat, presumed competence. We will encourage them in all of their ways, their desires, their dreams, and we're going to celebrate. That house is a house of celebration.
And this is a group home for some very fortunate young women with autism, but it's a community-based program that's going to welcome any person with autism in the community. We really, truly have the potential to change the face of autism. And there's nothing more that needs to happen than we need to look at these kids as intelligent.